have some abstract, understanding on that basis. I can say whatever I.
And even we also didn't get much time to go through proper literature. Just 2 days work.
Okay.
Okay. So, first question is the imagery in the advertisements have changed a lot, and it has undergone a lot of metamorphosis as far as the portrayal of women is concerned. So, basically, how do you perceive this imagery changes in advertisements? And apart from that, do you think that this imagery changes has contributed significantly uh, to revamp the socio-cultural standards of the society?
Okay. So I mean to answer your question, I'll just state two things. Number one, I don't think the sort of the way sort of women has been portrayed in advertising as an agency, even if it is undergone change, but the essence of it, the remains the same. In a way, like the whole idea, I don't think any company who is sort of using this agency to sort of, I think no company is sort of using this agent, I'm trying to sort of empower women. This is one way of selling your product. So in a way, I don't see the the way, even if you advertise, it actually empowers. The motive is not empowering, it's selling a product. And but within this process of sort of new images coming, the way you sort of portray women in advertising, if you can derive certain things, as sort of researchers, if you can derive and say, is this the whole change is sort of empowering? I don't think, I'm not so sure if this is going to empower women, or the sort of the as such, because see, every time, even if the earlier time and the now, the new, what we're talking about, the current scenario, every time there is, we in general, when you say we, there is a larger politics behind this construct of an sort of new image or modern image, and what gives that. There are a lot of things, and that politics actually is derived from, you can say, one is the marketing agency or the motive of profit that is driving it, and also there's this intersection of your socio-cultural sort of values, and also aspiration. How do you understand development, or how do you sort of understand progress, how do you understand modernity, by and large. So if the understanding, which is I don't agree with, it is the understanding is, the way the women are portrayed, that is modern. I don't think the way sort of someone presents, the physical presence of someone is modernity. So to me, there has not been actual change. If you see women as an agencies in sort of sort of an advertisement, earlier it was used as an agency to sort of derive profit. Now also is the same story. So it's the profit motive which actually works. I don't think any company is interested to committed to sort of empower women. For any companies, the basic is, this it's pretty clear. They want profit. The investment seeks profit. So in the process, they tend to use all agencies. So that is how it works. So I don't think actually there has been any empowerment.
So, one of the recent reports by the government of India says that about 40.7% of enrolled PhD students are girls,
Yes.
and about 46.8% UG students are girls. That means almost part of with the opposite gender. They are trying to come up. Don't you think that the educational status, the changes in the educational status, is changing the new age women? I mean, those who are very young, and their perception of the society and their attitude towards their own life. As far as the patriarchy is concerned, everywhere patriarchy prevails. That is a hard reality. But to revamp the society, but to overcome the patriarchy prevails, don't you think that this educational status and subsequently the economic standard also, obviously they are educated and they are getting the jobs also, it's changing the total uh, social status of the women?
See, I mean, if you see there, I mean, there are multiple ways to interpret, sort of the number of women is increasing in education, be it in higher education or secondary education, in any form of education. But the point is the way the education system is organized, right? And currently, as I see, it's organized to respond to something. So it's the still profit. I mean, there is a structure which exists, right? Everyone functions within this structure. So be it the agencies like women or the education system as a whole. So the way you can see the sort of education system is evolving. What is it? It's trying to sort of respond to the profit motive, the whole sort of issue of skill. If you are employable, if you are skilled enough to do some work or something like that. I don't think there's enough sort of what I'm saying is the education which is being given with certain motive, it doesn't empower especially women or anyone, even if the male, enough to go beyond this, to break the structure of patriarchy, right? You can be educated, you can be employed, yet you can compromise and try to sort of compromise and try to pursue your economic objective or something like that. What I'm saying is the economic objective is paramount in the given sort of educational system or that we are pursuing. So I think when you try to sort of reform the society where you want to break the patriarchy, I think the social motive has to be prioritized before the economic motive. I don't think the education system or the agency which is involved in the education system is sort of or is committed to that. I mean, to is yet ready to prioritize social motive over the economic motive. It's still the economic motive which drives everything. It's education and also the who are participating in the whole process. So then the point is, even if they're educated, you tend to then compromise, right? So that is what is happening. So what I'm trying to say is that last 30-40 years, even see few decades, the number of women education, so I mean the girl's child coming into education or women in higher education, it has gone off, but yet we don't see any change. I think I mean, if you see the social attitude towards women is becoming more and more sort of conservative day by day, the whole environment in a way. So be it women themselves as an agency or the male, the counterparts. What I'm trying to say is that ideally, if in a society where women are more educated, so there should be more reform. We should move towards progressivity. Like we should be progressive enough to sort of prioritize the social motive of education over the economic motive. But we are going in a reverse way. Like we are still prioritizing economic motive over the social motive, and there the compromise actually is happening. That's why we're sort of even if the number of women in higher education has gone up, yet we see the patriarchy, a strong patriarchal structure existing in India.
So you are trying to say that in a neoliberal regime, the education is all about for grooming them for the economic purpose.
Yes, yes.
So in that manner,
So basically, you was seen as a workforce, right? You can where do you fit in as a work? It doesn't say anything about in a way it's lesser. I mean, it doesn't sort of say anything about your social sort of aspects, the social values, right? So it's all basically you acquire some knowledge and be a part of this workforce and earn. That is what the whole idea is. That is why I said the economic motive is always prioritized over the social motive. So if you intend to then reform the society, and we use women as an agency, and that's why, and that is how you know how you can sort of do this by educating women. That is something I know you can do it in some other way, but the way things are happening is largely to, and that is true for all. I mean, all forms of knowledge, sort of, or all forms of education now. It's largely you are trying to sort of be a part of in productive. In terms of economics, it's a productive sort of workforce. So the role of education has been reduced to that. You get skilled, I mean, acquire skill and be a part of I mean a workforce which is productive. You acquire skill and earn for yourself, and for the
so you are
it's
saying
becoming more uh, I can say it's becoming more and more valueless, social valueless. Yes.
so you are trying to say there is a strong connection between this advertisement campaigns that advocate this breaking the gender stereotypes, and also the educational system. There is a strong correlation between that, because the education system is trying to create a consumer centric society who is more prone to consuming the things.
No, what I'm saying is the education is not the education system is creating. See, the education system ideally should be independent. I mean, you should form an education policy or education system which should respond to the needs of the society. Now, the societal values are not important, right? Or the values which will lead towards building a progressive society, it's not important. What more important is the economic aspects of it. So we are largely the current educational sort of system or structure is derived or is motivated by the larger economic structure or the larger politics of the politics is going on. What is development is important, it's paramount, you can't compromise on that. And who are the agencies of development? It's largely the corporate sector which will drive towards that. So we all, I mean, be it men or women, are sort of told you should acquire some knowledge and be a part of this workforce. That is how the system is. And education system is sort of responding to that need, right? So that is what I'm trying to say.
So compared to the older generation, don't you think that the new generation women are more consumer centric than the older generation? Because in older generation, the advertisements were also showing some kind of households and detergents, but now more and more advertisements are coming.
See, I don't think advertisement is a significant determinant of consumerism. Is the see the beginning and end of everything is money, right? If you have money, then you make choices. So there the role of advertisement comes in. But there, I mean, you are talking new age and old age. For instance, some women or a girl who is living in rural areas, she is also in new ways. I mean, in terms of, see, there are two ways. One is your attitude, which is sort of understanding of society, understanding about the I mean the life, you can say, and the sort of physical appearance. There are two things. So what I'm saying, what the advertising is trying to address is people having money. The advertisement can play a role there in choosing, I mean, in deciding your choices. That can influence your choice, right? But it significantly doesn't sort of alters that equation. Like what you can say is, uh, uh, if I can go back and say, there is this divide. Actually, this new age concept is disempowering women more than empowering them. You create a divide between the girl or women who live in rural areas and those who live in urban areas. And it's very true that the urban areas, women are more consumer centric because they have money. It's all see, nobody gives you anything for free, right? So once you have money, then the advertisement can play a role in your choice formation of your choices, but it not necessarily actually addresses any of the basic sort of needs of the society or sort of that.
Okay,
So
sir.
is this okay?
Yeah.
I'm not very much